Okay, welcome America to Dress Like a Student Day. We are going to do some special right triangle problems for review. Ready? You guys have already tried these problems and we are going to take a look at them together. So, problem number 7. Solve the unknowns in each triangle used 45, 45, 90 or 30, 60, 90 special right triangles. So, we have to solve for an x and a y. We have two different variables. You guys ready? Two different variables that we have to solve for. Let's make sure we put the numbers in the right place for x and for y. Doesn't matter which one we do first, we just have to make sure we put the right number in for the right variable. So we're given the length of this side here. And we're also given, this is clearly a right triangle, this angle is 30 degrees. What kind of triangle is this? What kind of special right triangle is this? 30, 60, 90. Gentlemen, please.
I have a missing AirPod in.
I'm recording.
This little bully.
Can you give him his AirPod back?
Come on, Dylan, she's recording.
Gosh, I'm gonna have to edit this video.
Now she's gonna have to edit the video.
Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave it on here. And then when you're in college, you can look at it and I'll remind you about it. Remember how you acted your freshman year when Helvin was recording? Okay, so this is the 30, 60, 90 triangle. We have a short side, a long side, and a hypotenuse. How are we going to determine which is the short side? The short side is across from?
The shortest angle.
Right, the smallest angle, which in this case is 30. So this x is the short side, which makes this y the long side, and the 6 is the hypotenuse because it's across from the 90. Is everybody with me? We are given the hypotenuse. We know the relationships between the short side and the long side, and the short side and the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the short side times 2. So if the hypotenuse is the short side times 2, what's the length of the short side? To go from the short side to the hypotenuse, we multiply by 2. So, to go from the hypotenuse to the short side, we do the opposite operation of multiplying by 2, which is dividing by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Where am I putting the 3? For the x or the y? Okay? And now, to find the long side, pretty simple. What are we doing to go from the short side to the long side? We are, the long side is longer. We're multiplying by, we just have to memorize. It's times the square root of 3. So 3 times the square root of 3 is y, 3 root 3. Short side to the long side, times the square root of 3. Long side to the short side. The opposite operation of multiplying by the square root of 3 is dividing by the square root of 3. So we are either, from the short side, multiplying by the square root of 3 or multiplying by 2. Let's try it again. In number 8, we clearly also have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Where's the short side? Because it's across from the 30, right? Here's our short side, which makes 9 across from the 60. That's our long side. And the hypotenuse is across from the 90-degree angle here, the right angle. We're given the long side. We're not going to be able to get the hypotenuse until we get the short side. So from the long side to the short side, we need a smaller number. What are we going to be doing? Dividing by the square root of 3. We're going to have to divide 9 by the square root of 3. Hey, look. This is why we were practicing rationalizing the denominator. We can't leave our answer like this. We're going to have to multiply by special 1. Denominator, root 3 times root 3, that's just 3. 9 root 3 is our numerator. Now we look at it. Can we simplify this?
Yeah.
3 goes into 9 evenly. Where am I going to put that? X or Y? What did we just find?
X.
And the hypotenuse is the short side times 2. How do I multiply 3 root 3 times 2? 3 root 3 times 2. Right, we can multiply the 3 and the 2, so we have 6 root 3. Last one, 45, 45, 90 triangle. That makes the lengths of these sides the same. So if the measure of this side is 6 root 2, what's the measure of this side, or our x? Okay? Gotta make sure I put that in for x and not y. Now, what's the relationship between the length of the legs, which are the same, and the hypotenuse in the 45, 45, 90 triangle? Something we have to memorize. We multiply by root 2. Yep. So, 6 root 2 times root 2. What's root 2 times root 2? 2. So this just says 6 times 2, which is 12. Questions? Yes, question. Oh yes, absolutely.